And we're back with the K-1 World Grand Prix 2020 Japan, Osaka at the EDION Arena in Osaka. In the red corner, we've got Shuji Kawarada taking on, in the blue, SEIYA. I'm Brian.
And I'm Ross. Boom, let's get into this. So, Shuji is the taller guy by 8 centimeters and slightly older by 3 years. Previous soccer player.
That's right. You see a lot of guys actually who move into kickboxing from a soccer background.
Really?
And you might not be guessing, but they're good kickers.
I bet they are. I bet they're pretty tough in a tackle too.
Oh yeah, they're tough, man.
Here we go. Early on, trying to find the range and establish a jab.
Yeah, well, looking at Kawarada, Shuji there in the red corner, he is tall and long.
Absolutely. Very linear movement at the moment. A lot of forward and back, not too many angles. And just corner his man early there.
Whenever you see the big disparity like this, it's going to really be, SEIYA's going to have to do a lot of work here. He's going to have to get inside. He's going to have to get his shorter limbs to land. Being the tall guy, Shuji can kind of hang at the end of his front kick and jab and have an easy night if SEIYA doesn't get inside and do some damage.
Yeah, SEIYA's really got to start using some head movement and start using some Bebo's effects to try and close that range, to use those shorter levers to...
That's right, and a great technique for the shorter guy is kicking with the front leg of their opponent as they step in to throw that jab. Getting your head off the line, you can block, throw a heavy left hook, and then the right low kick. But yeah, if he can make that low kick work, he can slow down the footwork of Shuji, and then he can also get in there and maybe find room for the overhand right.
Nice little counter there when Shuji tried a knee. It didn't quite work. SEIYA was there with a 1-2. SEIYA, of course, got the name of a legend. Let's see if he lives up to it. He's certainly trying here.
That's right. It's an interesting story. His mother was such a big fan of Andy Hug that she named her son the same name as Andy Hug's son, SEIYA.
Amazing. You don't meet many mums into K-1.
No. Well, maybe in Japan more so than elsewhere, yeah. Oh, good body work there from Shuji, just pinning SEIYA in the corner and doing some great work there.
SEIYA's covering up well and just letting Shuji use some energy there, but he's got to get it out of the corner.
Shuji fighting a bit like a short man, short guy there, getting low and bouncing, and an interesting tactic. Right? It's interesting to see how it works for him.
He doesn't need to take the risk, so he's obviously felt the power early from SEIYA, and it's not intimidated him. He doesn't see any particular reason for concern. Here we go again. Let's see, ooh, just on the ropes there. SEIYA's got a very tight defence though. He's swaying well, he's slipping well, he's got a nice high guard, and he's coming back with combinations.
Yeah, he does. You would hope that SEIYA, picked up some good information here about his opponent in this round, and that he can come out with a little more put together sort of strategy in the second round. But he does. He's got a great tight guard, and he mitigated a lot of that. So even though probably to the judges that round would look real good for Shuji, SEIYA came away fairly unscathed, and it's interesting to see what he does. What sort of advice would you give a shorter guy fighting a big tall guy like that?
Well, a beautiful tight guard like that is a wonderful thing, but it doesn't win rounds. So he's got to start looking at closing that distance. I'm seeing a lot of linear movement, a lot of forward and back. I'd like to see some lateral movement, some angles, trying to time Shuji as he comes in, and double the impact of his punches.
Yeah, great series of left kicks there. If he can kick underneath some of these long shots, could be effective for him.
Well, let's see what his corner's told him. Hopefully they heard us.
Yeah. Well, and it's kind of a go-to for the shorter guy, but if he does some good work on that low leg and then steps in and makes it look like a low kick, he can find a home for that overhand right, and that works so well against the taller fighter.
Absolutely, and I think he can find that home. If you're watching the way Shuji holds his hand sometimes, there's definitely gaps.
Yeah, it's just interesting how Shuji just, for being the taller guy, he moves right inside, and he closes the gap for Seiya.
Oh, look at the constant movement, the energy, the way he's using head movement at will. Look at that, the way he's just methodically moving. He's in a rhythm here, Shuji. He really is in a rhythm. He's feeling it.
That's a great way to describe it. He's got the tape deck going in his head, man. Ba-boom, ba-chug, ba-boom. And he is just following that rhythm. And when a head is moving, it is really a difficult thing to hit.
Oh, it makes you hesitate on chucking a shot because you've got to try and work out where the head's going to be to throw that shot.
Yeah,
and it's just a harder thing to do.
You know, and Seiya would be well served to probably slow down on the head attacks a little bit and do more work on the body and legs, because right now Shuji is springy and moving a lot and moving that head, but the body and the legs will be there a lot more than the head will be.
Absolutely. You could find your target down low and you could just slow this guy down, get him a bit more flat-footed, a little bit more static.
That's right. It's got to be a bit of a surprise when you've got someone so big and tall that is just in there mixing it up with you and not playing the tall man's game.
Ooh, we've got a little bit of a cut on the right eye of Shuji here.
Yeah.
He's obviously been a victim of one of those lefts that Seiya's been trying.
Yeah. That's good work from Seiya here. You know, he's got a minute left. It's a real close round, but as far as ring tactics go and ringmanship, you know, Shuji's still kind of putting the fight where he wants it. So Seiya's got to come up with something big here in this last minute to squeak this round out.
Absolutely. Shuji's certainly been the more active and Seiya's the more reactive, and it's not working for him. You know, the judge is going to be looking at Shuji's work rate, the way he's dictating the pace of the fight. It's really all coming from him at the moment.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Ooh, great kick there from Shuji as well.
And look, he's still bobbing and weaving. Look at that. I think he's been watching a little bit of Mike Tyson 1980s here.
Yeah.
And beautiful little right over the top there.
Oh, he's got Red Bull on an IV drip, man. That guy is just moving and really this deep in the fight. It's great movement from him, especially the big tall guy.
I'd love to know what's playing on his tape deck right now. What's the tune? What's the tune? That's what I want to know. Look at that. It's going.
Yeah.
There's no pause button here.
That's right. It is, though. It is going.
Beautiful round. And once again, he's taking unnecessary risks, but it's working for him. How can the judges not be impressed?
It's not what I would have expected at all, but it really does look from this. Once again, I love in these K-1 matchups the stylistic differences, and you get a guy here, and like Shuji in the red corner, who's just, he's got his thing.
Absolutely. I mean, he's got those physical attributes. He can play it a certain way, the way that you think someone would, risk-averse, cautious, and he's thrown that rule book out the window.
Yeah,
he's here to
blocking
impress.
The hook there, and he's picking it up now. He's blocking, not letting the hook get through.
Yeah, he's keeping an eye on that eye. He doesn't want it to degrade any further. Doesn't seem to be causing him any kind of issue, though.
No, once again, like you said, Seiya's got great defense. He's real tight. He's not letting the lock get through, but he's not getting as much done as he probably needs to.
Absolutely. His defense won't win this fight. They've done a great job on that cut with Shuji, by the way. A really good corner man there.
Yeah, and I'm sure Seiya's feeling like, hey man, I'm supposed to be doing what you're doing. You're the tall guy. Know your role.
Seiya's got to be a bit shocked by this. It's probably not the fight that he thought he was going to be fighting. Absolutely. He's been on the back foot somewhere here.
Yeah. Ooh, I mean, the counter left is good, but wow, that kick is finding its home, and his head is so far back. He's really got to open up the elbow, and if that kick comes underneath, it's just not a great trade-off.
If I was Shuji, with that cut, and one would feel he's clearly done the better work here. Just stepping back a little bit, create some range for this final round. But no, here he is. He's coming forward.
He's right back in there, and the music is still playing.
It is. I think the beat has changed though. I want to know what the third track is.
What is it, man?
Yeah, I think we've got some Eye of the Tiger going on in there.
Yeah.
Look at this. He's still so bouncy in his feet, still so spry, and he's in and out. He lands his shots, creates range, goes for it again.
Yeah, yep.
And going to the body too.
And getting low to do it as well. Yeah, you know, there are things here that are not textbook, but he really makes it work, and that's why it's so fun to watch.
Well, you know, I've seen it a couple of times tonight, the taller man ducking below the shorter man, and, you know, in the world of boxing, that's normally a no-no, but here, they're willing to try these things, and it's paying off. It's not textbook, but it's effective.
Yeah, now I mean, he's basically just shooting and getting it, and just picking shots, just point fighting at this point. Bang, bang, in and out, in and out.
There's definitely some pot shot and get nice right there. Beautiful. SEIYA's clearly thinking this is not the fight I signed up for.
No, not at all. No, it's so tough because he's got such a sharp skill set too. Great lead kick there. I mean, he should have just really, you know, if he could have just been wailing with that left kick earlier.
Yeah, it's a little bit too little too late here, but it's good to see. It's good to see. His blonde streak in his hair is going a little bit red with Shuji's blood there, but...
Yeah, kind of highlights the blood.
It'll be all the rage next year, that hairdo. But the cut is holding out well. It's not at all as bad as it was in round 2.
I can tell you, having fought taller guys before, you know, this Shuji is just the worst of the tallest, the hardest, because he's tall, he's long, he knows what he does well, and he's aggressive and he's in your face, and it's just so hard to deal with.
Absolutely, and there's that take back going again. The tune is going. Very methodical. Landing a nice little cute knee in there. Still looking to do his body work at this stage. Look at that.
He's just in his own world, like a virtual reality, man, simulating the fight in his mind. He's fighting like he's shadow boxing, which is exactly how you want to fight. It's beautiful.
Absolutely, he's feeling no pressure here. And he's just running through the gears.
Yeah.
He's running through the gears.
And stamina for days, too.
Absolutely. Wow, what a fight. They are having a wonderful treat tonight with the fights that we've seen so far.
Yeah, everything's so different, and I can feel the frustration from SEIYA there. You know, he's got a great skill set, but this is the kryptonite right here. This unorthodox, tall fighter in the red corner.
Absolutely, and you know, Shuji, he didn't let that cut ruin his momentum whatsoever. You know, he just made a few alterations and was blocking everything perfectly, and just turning off. Absolutely textbook. Look at the confidence there.
Yeah, so just another great fight on what is really turning out to be a fantastic card.
Absolutely, I haven't seen at all a boring second.
30対29赤川原田ジャッジ水谷30対29赤川原田ジャッジ芹沢30対29赤川原田以上判定3対0をもちまして勝者赤コーナー川原田
The judges obviously saw it the way we saw it tonight.
Yep.
And what a wonderful thing to see. What a wonderful thing to see. High energy. Not at all what you'd expect, but beautiful.
Well, and it's just the sportsmanship. That's what I love about K-1 too. You go to the other corner, you pay your respects, you get you can't do it. You go over there, you bow, you touch gloves. There's not a lot of showboating going on. Yeah, I wish both guys could win. They're both good guys, but there's got to be one. And Shuji did a great job.
Unfortunately so, as Highlander said, there can be only one.
Yep.
And there was. And there was. Look at that.
Yep, it's unorthodox, and it just worked like a charm for him.
SEIYA, as you pointed out earlier, wasn't even in front of him tonight. He was shadow sparring. He was seeing his own reflection, and he was just moving to that beat perfectly. And SEIYA, bless him, he just didn't have a solution. He just didn't have an answer.
Yeah, he's gonna definitely be one to look out for in upcoming events, because he does have such a unique style, and lots of people are gonna have trouble with that.
Definitely.
Well, and there you have it. The K-1 World Grand Prix 2020 Japan, Osaka, at the EDION Arena in Osaka. We will catch you guys next time.